Hello everyone, I want to show you these two new work pieces that I've forged, and I'm about to put these two together. And while they were apart, I wanted to show you guys how this comes together to make a poleaxe, something like this or something like this. So like on this one over here, you can see how the top spike comes down, goes around the head, right, and it basically rivets down to the shaft, which also has side langets, and that's what holds it in place. So on this piece, you can see how the the I guess hammer spike is cut to fit it, right? So you see how it's get behind the camera. So you see how it's cut. Right. Now this is where the shaft is going to fit underneath, okay? So this is going to come down. Let's see which is the front side. I think that's my front side. That's going to come down. That's going to go in there like that. Let's see if I can wedge it in there. All right. So one of the nice things about the hardy hole on this anvil is that you can just stick the top spike in there. And just kind of like tap it. Go. So now what's going to happen is the shaft is going to come up through the bottom, and then it's going to go up in there, and it's going to fit in place. So what I wanted to do with this is I wanted to put basically this head on this this length of shaft, because on this poleaxe over here, I used a different construction method. The top spike actually goes through a hole in the axe, right, and actually comes up through the bottom. It stops on the shoulders here, right, and then the legs then spread, come down on the shaft, and that's how it locks in place. So it's wedged in place between the shoulder and the legs. It's wasted in the center. So the drawback of this method is that because the legs need to spread, the shaft needs to be a lot thicker. Okay, so that adds weight here. Okay, so because of the extra weight, this ended up being a little bit shorter, because the weight is really what determines how long this can be, because I want to be able to like swing this and recover. So there's enough weight here that, what I do is like originally this started off a bit longer, and as I was moving it around, I said not too heavy, and I just kept cutting this back until I got to a length that I felt comfortable with. Okay, so for this one, it ended up being about that height. This one can be a little bit taller, because on this one, since the legs of the top spike come around and fasten down onto the side langets of the shaft, this can be thinner over here. So because this shaft can be thinner, it's tapered on both sides, both this way and this way. That's what allows this to be longer, and I can take this and I can swing it and I can recover. So that's what I wanted to try. I wanted to go back to this method, but I wanted to use this head style with the hammer and back spike, as a as a headpiece. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys, since I had these apart, because they're really wedged in there, how these two basically fit together, and how I have it cut basically to accept the shaft over there. And then when that shaft comes up, it's gonna basically, it's gonna press up, and it's gonna lock this in place. And it's got that diamond cross section. And the cool thing with this is basically, I mean, the purpose of these prongs here is it basically allows to have a head that's almost like 1.5 inches wide, but without the extra weight, right? Because if this was solid steel, this would be way heavy. So what I'm able to do is start off with a thinner piece of metal, split it, right? Get it red hot, split it. So basically this is all weight saving over here by splitting it, but I still have that impact. And these prongs are really good for like like actually hitting plate, because if you try to hit plate with either this side or with the axe over here, this tends to glance off of plate. This will stick good into mail, okay, but off of plate it tends to glance off of. Whereas this hammer here, that tends to bite a little bit better into the plate and transfer more of that force. The back spike, a lot of times people think that the back spike, the purpose of this is to puncture through plate armor. You're not going to do it. I mean, I've tried a whole bunch of different back spikes. I've actually taken pickaxes and sharpened them. You know, and obviously they got a lot more weight. And if you try to like hit one of these barrels over here, right? You see those barrels over there? I use these as test subjects because that's about the same thickness as plate armor. You cannot penetrate. Even if it does penetrate, it'll go in a little bit and it'll stop. So, you know, this is for hooking, right? That's what this is for. This is good for hooking onto a strap or something, or pulling a guy off a horse, or hooking somebody behind the neck and pulling him down, or pushing, you know. You can use this to basically push somebody. This can also catch an incoming weapon. Good, and kind of basically block it here, you know, or you can actually turn it sideways and kind of lock it in place a little bit. So this is really good for hooking. And what I did with this is I actually fullered this. I made it like a sword fuller, where it's thinner in the center here, and again it's kind of like basically it's an I-beam. So you get the, you know, like I put an axe in there and I basically split this a little bit and spread it. The same way I put an axe in here when it was red hot, and that's how I split it 4 ways. We have an axe here, yeah. So this was created by putting something like pretty much this in there, and hammering that side, and then I did the same thing here. That's what gave me the split here. And then with this, while it was red hot, I would put the axe in like this, hammered it, split it, did the same thing on this, hammered it, split it. So that's how we got to this. So this, I've given this like a preliminary polish because I want to see what it looked like. Usually when I'm done with these, I wax them so they don't have a mirror finish. Even though the mirror finish is there, it usually has like a whitish look to it. That's from the wax that's on it, because you know, this is high carbon steel, and it'll basically start rusting overnight. So you got to coat it with something to keep it from rusting. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Drop some comments, and I'll do another video when I actually put this, when I get this on top of the shaft.